All right, guys. CliffBeats no script off the rip. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with my channel, I am checking this out unbiasedly. Now, I am a hip hop songwriter for a living. That's what I do. But my subscribers have been saying, Cliff, you have to check out this stuff about MrBeast. I did not know much about him going into this, besides my little cousins telling me things. And I think I've seen like little clips here and there, like on Instagram or when you be scrolling. I think he got in trouble for something with Kai, where they replicated his basement and blew it up or something. I don't know. Is it fake? I don't know. But anyways, I've watched the first two videos. The first video really had me going like, wow, this guy's a piece of shit. The second video had me kind of just feeling like, I don't know, like I feel like there's too many splices and edited moments. I really did feel bad for the guy, but then I heard he like made a video with MrBeast right after. That's why like I never put all my eggs in one basket. There's two sides to every coin, you know. So I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I'm just catching up with this now. I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from. But I have to continue the saga. I can't just leave it hanging. Pause. But please show love to this is Dog Pack 404. I guess I gotta subscribe to. Go like, go subscribe, show love. YouTube hates me for covering these videos, but I'm doing my best to really put my finger on what I think is going on. The first video really had me feeling like MrBeast is a piece of shit. The second video didn't really change my mind, but it also felt like a little bit of a reach. But I could see where there would be issues, but you'd have to watch the second video to see what I'm talking about exactly before you get crazy on me. I get it. He's rich. People want to get mad at him instantly. But just hear me out. I use logic when I'm thinking. So I really try to say I'm a juror and I'm trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. I'm going over all the evidence before I ever have a final verdict. Best way to put it. Go like, go subscribe. All right. Enough talking. Enough talking.
Okay, so this video is going to focus around one instance of essay. I wanted to put all the essay allegations into one video, part 3. Final video until Jimmy responds at least. I sort of overestimated how easy that would be as far as like getting everything approved with victims and lawyers, and like also, you know, traditional media is involved. They've been DMing me, you know, New York Times, Time Magazine, also like documentary people. I don't know. You're like, hey, I've worked with Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and Peacock. Are you interested? And I'm like, I don't know, but you know, I think people should go to those more legitimate sources to get their stories out. So I've been referring people to other people because traditional has, you know, more resources than I do and better legal protections than I do for sure. I do have sort of that bigger project, the original part 3, and I have a lot of other interviews and other allegations that I'm working on putting together, so I have something for when MrBeast responds. If his response is bad, then I can sort of point out, hey, he lied here and he deflected and straw man argument or whatever, as well as like dropping new allegations and doing it in an opportune way so that they get the most eyeballs. But yeah, I just wanted to say this is just around sort of one allegation. Also, everything in this video is allegedly. This video is not monetized. It's for educational purposes only. This is matters of public interest. I'll put a full disclaimer on the screen. But yeah.
This video is for educational entertainment purposes only. If I could read, please do not contact people mentioned in this video. This video is meant to report on issues of public concern about public figures who are responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars and provide opinions and commentary. I do not condone any form of hate or harassment. Please don't hate or harass me too. I got shitted on just for reacting to this.
Yeah, here's the video. Okay, today I'm going to be covering MrBeast's secret CEO, James Warren, and his involvement in essay and essay cover-ups, like the one including his best friend, Locoya Hill, who also happens to be MrBeast's secret chief operating officer, or was. And then I want to touch on the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson. MrBeast has very publicly and transparently been engaging in a massive cover-up, deleting a lot of evidence. And I think a lot of this cover up is going sort of completely under the radar. We're not even aware of what's being swept under the rug, and they're getting away with hiding and deleting evidence. After I called out James Warren by name in my last video, his Instagram and Facebook got taken down, and his LinkedIn got taken down. So quick profile on James Warren. He's Jimmy's cousin and secret CEO, and I say secret because they're not very open about that fact. Like he doesn't post about it on social media. It wasn't ever attached to his LinkedIn. He's never featured or really referenced anywhere.
It's like a silent partner.
I heard that he's very aggressive. I've heard him referred to as a psychopath.
I see Keller Williams. He works for Keller Williams?
Referenced anywhere. I heard that he's very aggressive.
Shit, he worked for Keller Williams. So did I. That kind of scares the shit out of me. This just doesn't matter anymore. This number is out of business. But if you don't believe me, I worked at Keller Williams too. Oh shit. I wonder if we ever met. Anyways, let's go.
I've heard him referred to as a psychopath who screams at people and hits his girlfriends. There's allegedly domestic violence charges that were filed against him. And I say allegedly because it turns out there's a lot of people in North Carolina named James Warren who assault their girlfriends, I guess. So I'm still having people look into these cases.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That I take with a grain of salt. If it's not him, then we can't even take it as real evidence.
Specifically, that surprise witness on YouTube, she's been super helpful in behind the scenes, just submitting freedom of information requests and just helping me out a lot in general. She's super nice, super smart. She'll be posting a lot of updates on her channel, as she has been about the MrBeast situation.
MrBeast video caused a military operation.
James Warren, also allegedly an ex-drug addict. I've heard that he offered cocaine and hookers to editors to stay late. And then the really big thing is that there was some incident between him and
that sounds like a good time. No, I'm just kidding, but seriously, not professional, of course.
Editors to stay late. And then the really big thing is that there was some incident between him and a female colleague that resulted in the female colleague leaving the company and receiving 3 years in severance pay. I'm still actively looking into this incident, so if you have information, let me know. But I've heard from multiple credible sources that this is true and this did happen. Also, I should quickly clarify that a lot of this investigation is allegedly.
Everything outside of court documents is allegedly. All parties are assumed innocent until proven guilty. That's what I've been trying to say, and people have been jumping down my damn throat. Man, at least he put it up there. Thank you. I'm not thinking he saw what happened to me, but damn, I was just covering this shit. People were coming after me, dude. We're just thinking, just saying, hey, this is all alleged until proven guilty.
That's sort of the nature of these instances. I have a lot of testimony, corroborating testimony. But the reason I'm publishing this is that hopefully it brings more information to light. Like after, the Jake Weddle interview got posted, which was all mostly testimony, people came out corroborating a story, and then ultimately Jimmy ended up apologizing and offering him $190,000.
Hey, I wanted to reach out and say I didn't mean to cause you mental stress with that video, and I apologize. Clearly it had an effect on you. You mentioned you'd like to be paid out the rest of the prize money, the other $190,000. And I love to make things right with you. I have zero expectations of you mentioning me sending you this money publicly or taking down any videos. This is me just wanting to help out and make sure you're good. I just need to know if you still use the same bank or not. We'll send the money on Monday. I wish you the best. I didn't mean to cause you this much mental stress. It just seems robotic. Now, this does seem robotic. I have zero expectations of you mentioning me sending you this money publicly or taking down any videos. I have zero expectations. So I have no expectations of you mentioning me sending you this money. So he doesn't expect him to mention it, but it's being mentioned. That's kind of like a weird way to word something, like saying don't post me sending you this money. Kind of like hush money. It's like hush money.
which to me, I think is most likely an admission of guilt. You know, you don't apologize for things that you didn't do. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. But what's not allegedly is that James Warren was the former COO of acquisitions of a real estate investment firm called Greenstone Ventures LLC, which is one of the businesses listed in this indictment of his former business partner, Joshua Hutchins, who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for running a real estate Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi schemes are great up until they just go bust.
So before working at MrBeast, James Warren was involved in a...
No, we don't know where that clip came from.
Until they just go bust.
So before working at MrBeast, James Warren was involved in a literal fraud.
I only say that because he made comments about Jimmy clipping stuff and making people look good or look bad. If we have to go tit for tat here. If you're going to call someone out for something, don't do the same thing. That's the only reason why I say that.
So before working at MrBeast, James Warren was involved in a literal fraud. In fact, he's actually mentioned in the court transcripts of this case. This is the sentence hearing for Joshua Hutchins. I'm going to highlight testimony from just one of these victims, a retirement age woman named Sylvia. She testifies, "I came to know Mr. Hutchins through a very reputable and successful real estate attorney who highly recommended Mr. Hutchins and who eventually left his agency to become the chief operating officer of Mr. Hutchins' investment firm." The chief operating officer of Mr. Hutchins' investment firm. She explains that the reason she trusted Mr. Hutchins was through the strong recommendation and endorsement from that very reputable and successful real estate agent. He represented Mr. Hutchins as highly competent and capable. He presented a successful track record and how Mr. Hutchins had delivered for other investments. On the next page, page 16, she testifies, "My trust was and has been severely violated. This is the equivalent of financial. Many of us entrusted Mr. Hutchins, who we've come to know to be fraudulent. Just $1.3+ million of worthless paper signed by him fraudulently misrepresented in the courts."
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't follow fiduciary duties regardless, he's fucking screwed.
So Hutchins was convicted for soliciting investment monies by telling victims that their money would be put to work on a specific property. In fact, Hutchins did not.
Okay, this has nothing to do with any signed agreements, probably with listing or buying properties. So forget fiduciary duties.
Not put all the investor funds to work on the property on which the investor was solicited to invest, and instead regularly used investor funds on other properties or personal expenses. Now, what kind of personal expenses? Well, apparently he bought an AR-15 and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. His wife had a domestic violence order of protection against him. He's accused of calling his wife a lying rat and sending menacing photos of himself in tactical gear in the woods to her friends and family. Again, according to Sylvia's testimony, James Warren represented...
My man was wearing, what? He was Call of Duty in the fucking woods? My man was wearing, what the fuck? Are you just trying to scare people? Looking like a fucking soldier?
Gear in the woods to her friends and family. Again, according to Sylvia's testimony, James Warren represented Mr. Hutchins as highly competent and capable. She continues on page 17. "James Warren, the then realtor who recommended me to Hutchins, also encouraged us to work with Mr. Hutchins on trying to make it work. And we did until it became very evident as to his apparent intent of complete fraud." So James appearing to sort of try to mediate this exchange, saying, hey, give him a chance. Don't pursue him. Don't sue him. Just make it work, right? The real losses due to fraud are evident. Financially, he's devastated my retirement. I can only hope and thank the good Lord that I have a brain to be able to function and try to earn back as much as possible. The impact, over $1.3 million in real losses. These are not, I got a piece of property, it was all fraud. She goes on to describe her financial troubles through the years, supporting her mother who had Alzheimer's disease, how in the crash of 2008 she lost her job and for 2 years was unemployed. In 2014 she had a severe cancer diagnosis, was out of work for over a year. She continues, "In spite of all that, I've lived very frugally and tried to make things work. I've made him know of all my history and I told him I could not take the risk. He and James Warren, the then realtor, stated, 'Oh, real estate.'" She goes on to describe how they presented it as a safe investment opportunity for her, and then James Warren's business partner defrauded her of $1.3 million. Now, can I claim definitively that James Warren was aware of the fraud that was taking place and willingly complicit in helping Mr. Hutchins defraud old ladies?
No.
No. But from what I've heard of James Warren's character, how he's hit ex-girlfriends, not let them leave the house, beat his dog, defrauded people in his.
Sorry, but when you are working on business dealings, especially in real estate, you're discussing damn near every little detail, no matter who you're working with, your partners or anybody involved in it.
Girlfriends, not let them leave the house, beat his dog, defrauded people in his own ways. Creative Juice is an interesting one that could be looked into, which was done with MrBeast, as well as another scheme that we'll get into that he conducted with Locoya Hill. I personally believe that when he was working with Mr. Hutchins, he was in similar company. I think the COO of acquisitions would know and be sort of responsible for properties not being properly acquired through the court system. But again, that's my opinion. That's all allegedly. Now on to his alleged best
Again, all allegedly. Thank you for saying that so people don't come after me.
friend, Locoya Hill. They both went to UNC Chapel Hill together, and they both, after graduating, got into real estate. But by 2017, Locoya Hill was running an adult entertainment event business in San
He definitely was running something.
Francisco called Locoya Hill Entertainment. Then in 2019, he was hired to MrBeast as a producer.
Our party evolved into this place where, you know, you have the drag queens, the muscle daddies, the bears, the twinks, the like posh boys.
Now, I'm all for personal freedoms. I believe adults should be able to do whatever they want. However, I question what qualified the sort of go-go dance drag daddy of San Francisco for a job producing YouTube content for children. But, you know, it'd also be weird if MrBeast hired Johnny Sins as the janitor, I guess.
He's low-key just taking shots right now, man. He's like Kendrick Lamar.
That's not the real issue, though. The issue is that in late 2021, he was allegedly fired for sexually assaulting his assistant. Now, I put fired in quotation marks because he was actually quietly moved to the dubbing company, which was Unilingo at the time. Here is proof that he used the Locoya at unilingo.tv email, links back to him, links to these photos, one of which was the profile picture for his YouTube channel, which also after my first video, his YouTube channel mysteriously got deleted. And at some point, his Twitter also got deleted. I don't know if that's when he sexually assaulted his assistant. I don't know if that's after my first video got posted. Either way, Booty Call Wednesdays are canceled. He was actually brought back to MrBeast in 2023 after
It's holding water in my mouth.
sexually assaulting his assistant prior, and promoted to Chief Financial Officer, which is how I personally was introduced to him. Here's some evidence from the internal Slack channel at MrBeast showing Locoya Hill acting in some COO capacity, saying there's news reporters outside, do not engage with them. This was shortly after the Time magazine article came out. So here I have a document showing testimony from former MrBeast employees talking about Locoya Hill. When I say verified former MrBeast employee, I had them send some form of proof. I know who some of these people are. They just want to remain anonymous, but you know, I'm willing to share this with like an independent third party.
Yeah, listen, he's kind of waiting to have the right attorney, the right people by his side before he actually unleashes everything.
If it needs to happen. Personally, I don't think MrBeast is going to deny sort of this Locoya Hill story that I'm going to show you. But here's the first testimony, and I'll say this person is especially credible in my opinion. I asked them, did you see or hear of any sexual misconduct at the company? They say yes. Locoya Hill, the current COO. In 2021, he had an assistant named victim's name. I heard Locoya acted very inappropriately with victim, booking hotel rooms with only one bed, walking around in his underwear, having victim come to his house and showing him his sex toy collection. Just in general, Locoya made victim uncomfortable. Victim started complaining to higher-ups and a report got written. Locoya was put on paid leave for like a month. Then MrBeast moved him to the dubbing company and he was hired back in 2023 and was promoted to COO, even though Jimmy, James, and Sue 100% know his history. Also, I heard that when victim was let go, he was given $30,000 in severance. I could get you victim's number. I don't know if he'd talk. I respond, yeah, that'd be great. Also, is there proof he moved to the dubbing company? I could look. It was the original dubbing company called Unilingo. MrBeast practically forced them to hire Locoya, and then they poached Unilingo's employees and copied their whole business and created Creator Global. Verified employee number 2. I asked them the same question, have you heard of any sexual misconduct at the company? They say yes. I don't know how to spell the name, but Locoya, something like that. He was brought in last year after having not worked there for a year or so at a very high level. I respond, Locoya Hill. They say the reason he had been asked to leave previously is that he had sexually harassed someone that still worked at the company when he was brought back. Yes, Locoya Hill. But they brought him back knowing he had sexually harassed an employee previously. And people often talk about Locoya making them very uncomfortable on shoots. I verify employee number 3. I'm looking into more accusations of sexual misconduct at the company, wondering if there's anything you could corroborate. Have you heard of anything about Locoya Hill? They respond, the old gay guy who likes to bang 18-year-old straight employees. Yeah, I've heard of him. Anything non-consensual to your knowledge? I heard he got in trouble for hooking up with his 18-year-old straight assistant, but the company kept it quiet from what I heard. He's a producer and worked in the adult entertainment before MrBeast. Yeah, Locoya Hill Entertainment. I heard he was fired for sexual harassment, then brought back a year later. That's what I heard too. Employee number 4. Do you know who Locoya Hill is?
No.
Yes. And you're aware of the case that has been covered up for some time. Explain. Essayed multiple people, apparently roofied multiple people as well. I verified employee number 5. Also.
Oh, he diddling in him. Diddler the diddly. Diddy diddler.
Essayed multiple people,
Bill
apparently
Cosby.
roofied multiple people as well. Verified employee number 5. I'll also say this person is especially credible, but they worked there a while ago, like 2020, 2021, around then. Okay, few things. Locoya sexually assaulted his assistant who was straight and Locoya was gay. You probably already know that, but James is best friends with him, so holy shit was that surprising that they kept him around way longer than they should have. There were reports of him making the assistant sleep in the same room/bed with him on trips, touching him inappropriately, and dangling his job in front of him. Employee number 6.
Man, dude, what's up with this fucking blackmail? I didn't mean it like that. Pause. I just meant like, it seems like anybody in a position of power over there, they hold it in front of your face like, okay, if you don't do this though, you're gonna lose your job. But in all reality, it's like an empty threat because, yeah, you might lose it for a year or so, but they call you back because they know you're old reliable. You aren't gonna go narc. You're not gonna do some weird shit. You're with the team.
Did you hear anything about Locoya Hill? I heard that incident happened. I heard they let him go, and I heard they brought him back and just put him in a different department. And I don't know, but I think he's working there again. Now, recently, MrBeast has let Locoya Hill go. They had this sort of leaked email where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, right? Alluding to the fact that Locoya Hill is no longer working there. Now, I have been open with MrBeast about the fact that I was going to cover Locoya Hill. This is a single frame in my first video where I reference Locoya. He's also in my Twitter header. And I've also just told people who work at MrBeast that they have to let Locoya Hill go. So they did what I wanted and let him go, right? Well, just on a whim, I decided to look into the Creator Global LinkedIn, and it had gone private to where everyone just shows up as a LinkedIn member, right? But I saw this, L, LinkedIn member, president of Creator Global. I thought, you know what, that's a little suspicious. So I reached out to one of my connections close to MrBeast and I said, hey, can you look into this account for me? Because sometimes if you have connections, you can see private LinkedIn accounts. And this is what they saw. Locoya Hill, listed as the current president at Creator Global. No work history between graduating UNC in May 2001 and becoming the president at Creator Global in 2024. Dude, this is like the 3-cup game where you gotta like keep track of the pets and races as MrBeast just moves them between companies.
They just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld, after it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
Which I heard, you know, MrBeast or James Warren forced Unilingo to hire Locoya as sort of part of their partnership without, you know, sending them the report on his alleged sexual misconduct at the company. I also have a voice memo from James Warren showing that they told Unilingo to process a $28,000 bonus for Locoya, which there's definitely something suspicious going on with that.
Hey buddy, it's James. Sorry to be bothering you. I've done my absolute best not to bother you. But Locoya had presented a bunch of stuff to me and Jimmy a little bit ago. All really great stuff. But he had asked me and Jimmy personally, he's like, hey, you know, can I have a $28,000 bonus for work I did in the past? And I'm like, yeah, of course, man. And the reason for that is I had brought him up to my level, and I don't take bonuses. So for like 2 years, he didn't get any bonuses when our guys were getting like crazy percentage bonuses. I need a favor. Sue cannot process this bonus through Beast I need a solid. Can you please process a $28K bonus for Locoya? Let me know. Bye.
And then they used Locoya to try to steal Unilingo's business, poach their employees, take their clients, and then MrBeast launched Creator Global, where Locoya Hill is currently listed as the president.
What
so that's
the
Locoya Hill.
fuck?
And that's just what I can put on the record. I will say that if MrBeast tries to deny this, more evidence will be brought to light, and more people will definitely come out defending me, saying,
Bro, I need a Sprite. I need some sugar in me, dude. I can't believe this shit. See, now this is what I mean. Like, you convince me, then I'm like, now, like, this, I know it's still allegedly, but there's just too many coincidences and weird things going on here. I'm literally walking right here to grab a Sprite. Hold on. Oh my God. What the fuck? I just stepped in something sticky, and now my feet are sticky. This is crazy, dude.
hey, this is true. These allegations are.
It kind of just makes me nauseous, dude. It kind of just makes me nauseous. I almost want to just wait to see what happens. I'm trying to keep up with it, and we gotta expose people who are doing wrong on social media, man. As content creators, we gotta keep the good people here to help educate and help entertain like people the right way. Not take advantage of them or underage kids and shit. Come on.
Are true. This is all true, allegedly, in my opinion, for legal reasons. Okay, now let's move on to the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson. First, I'll show this testimony from another former MrBeast employee just to show sort of the work culture, especially from a female's perspective. She says, on my very first day, I was told to avoid being alone in a room with certain people in positions of power. At least once a week, I was subjugated to inappropriate questions and conversations. Once, a male coworker asked me what I would do if Jimmy assaulted or harassed me. On another occasion, this same coworker said it wasn't fair that women could just decide a past sexual encounter wasn't consensual. Many of the men I worked with would make assault and pedophilia jokes on a daily basis. They would scream and hit walls when they got upset. The minute any woman leaves a room, they would talk about if/how they would fuck her. I've heard men comment on female contestants' bodies many times. Not everyone behaves this way, but no one openly speaks out against it in fear of losing their job. If you complain about any of this, you'll be shamed for being too sensitive or just ignored. You can't take anything to HR either because Jimmy's mom runs it. It's pretty common for people to essentially get paid to leave and stay quiet if they make enough noise about something. There is no employee handbook, by the way. If you ask for one or what the company's policies are, they just tell you to ask them and they'll let you know if anything is against the rules. But again, there's nothing in writing, which is true. The leaked document is just the production manual, not given to all employees.
Nothing in writing.
Here's another testimony. This person will go on the record. This is Jess, who accused Ava Chris Tyson of sexual assault. I think her case has been sort of mostly ignored because she wasn't a minor when it happened. But she was a MrBeast employee, and you can see in her evidence, in her communications with the company, the clear signs of a cover-up. You can see them like threatening her with legal action and email.
Although I was informed by MrBeast's HR team that the investigation regarding my report was completed. Is now being reviewed by a new outside law firm. Okay. Jess, a second firm is reviewing the information you share with the company. Either someone from the company or counsel, it's like a second firm will reach out to you as may be needed. I would also like to remind you of the post-employment obligations you owe the company, including those set forth in the transition agreement between you and the company. Okay.
And I'm saying like, oh, we're going to have a law firm investigate this. Well, they had one firm do an internal investigation, McGuire Woods LLP, the same law firm that sent me my first cease and desist. But then they hired, I guess, Harvey Weinstein's legal team, allegedly, to re-review everything. So I guess they weren't happy with the results of the first internal investigation. Also, yeah, this new
Harvey Weinstein, no!
law firm Quinn Emanuel, MrBeast has worked with them previously, allegedly, to internally investigate Locoya Hill's sexual misconduct. So why don't you make that report public, Jimmy? Anyway, here's Jess's testimony. I only hung out with Jimmy a handful of times, but he definitely was a little more reserved around me because I wasn't a part of his inner circle, or the boys club as it's called. I did hear Jimmy straight up say that the guy making a documentary on him right now has footage of him saying stuff that would absolutely get him canceled. It's just a well-known thing the boys club is misogynistic and looks down on women in the company despite what they might say publicly. Behind closed doors, the women in the company know that the culture is a problem.
I'm not going to say this is right, but let's just be honest. If men and women work together, yes, men are going to be sexual deviants. I'm not saying it's right. It's not work appropriate, especially like harassing, following, touching, intimidating. No, but will women be talked about? Yes. When I first went to work at Century 21, this is while I was writing songs, I was getting hit on by a bunch of people who were I don't know the term I could use, that were happy. I don't know if I can say the word. And I walked in on them talking about me. Now, did it make me feel uncomfortable? Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, thanks for the compliment, I'll take it. And I walked out of the room. But women do it too. I've seen it before, women talking about guys, but men are definitely a bit more aggressive. So
I have heard multiple stories of Jimmy being directly informed of SA happening at the company and proactively working to
that's different.
Keep it quiet. So Jess directly implicating Jimmy in the SA cover-ups. Locoya with an 18-year-old straight assistant. So she's one of the people corroborating that story. Ava told Jimmy about a time she was essayed by another talent member on a private jet, and talent members/employees making advances towards contestants was a regular occurrence. The reason all of this was able to happen for so long is because Jimmy is deeply misogynistic and only respects what he considers to be traditional women. He pushed those values into the company when he created it, and it resulted in several SA allegations we know about, and probably a lot more we don't know yet.
Allegations for now. We got to see what comes to light.
Which I will say, a lot of the SA allegations are still not public. Like, man, just fire James Warren and Locoya Hill. Fire them. Don't just move them around. Or I'm going to start dropping nukes. Anyway, I'm going to move Maddy Spidell away from all this. I just want to touch on this briefly. So Maddy Spidell, who's MrBeast's very public ex-girlfriend of 2.5 years, posted this on her Instagram story. She doesn't mention Jimmy by name. It's sort of vague. I think probably either because she's under an NDA or maybe she's just testing the waters to see how people respond before sharing more information. But also it's like not that vague if you have reading comprehension and can read context clues. She says she spent years being quiet, never acknowledging that time in her life. 19 to 21 are formative years. Impacted how she saw herself and how she trusted men. Months of therapy. She says how he treats other women will ultimately be how he treats you. So how does Jimmy treat other women?
I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with women.
Well, women are stupid because they're inferior to men.
That when she and a group of contestants who were menstruating during the event had asked the production staff about getting their underwear more quickly, she had been told that it was not a medical emergency.
You'll never actually respect a woman, but just act like you respect them.
My God. MrBeast withheld my birth control. I have ovarian cysts. You can't just stop taking birth control.
I don't really get along with women.
Also in this podcast, Jimmy goes on to talk about his relationship with his current girlfriend Tia in very weird ways, in my opinion.
For us now, like an idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test and then study and see if we can get a higher.
I can't.
An idea of a
You want to take her to like Dave and Buster's or something? Go see a movie at the very least. At the very least, ice cream, a walk down the block or a park, something. An IQ test to prove what? Dominance?
The date is just to like take an IQ test and then study and see if we can get a higher.
I can't.
An idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test. And then she was like, I'm an author. And I was like, fuck yeah, good. She has a hobby. And then I just DM'd her. I was like, oh, so your book. Can I read it? She sent it over, read the whole book, and it was just like acting like it was the greatest book ever. I don't really get along with women.
It's all of our jobs to protect our friends, our moms, our wives, our sisters, our daughters, ourselves from people like that. That's a pretty clear statement, if you ask me. Now, I almost feel like there's been a campaign against Maddy Spidell.
Well, again, two sides of every coin. I would need to hear and see more.
to discredit her before she's even shared any information. A lot of like cloud chaser and gold digger allegations. I'll say this is also from that Rolling Stone article. They referenced the breakup. The reporter says, Maddy Spidell, who's appeared in a handful of videos, those in MrBeast's inner circle told me that Spidell had been a positive influence, forcing Donaldson to prioritize work-life balance more. Donaldson did not want to comment on the record about the breakup, citing Spidell's privacy, yet Chris Tyson, says Donaldson's singular focus on work was a major contributing factor. I think that's what he's going to be looking for next. Somebody who can match his obsession with business and money and all that kind of stuff. So not a bad word to be said about Maddy Spidell from Jimmy or the people in his inner circle, which is pretty unusual of an ex-girlfriend. I'll show some of the brain-dead media coverage headed by Cuckstar and his news organization Drama Alert. So here's just one of his many posts about Maddy. Thread of every time MrBeast's ex-girlfriend allegedly shaded him, downplaying the clout-chasing claims against her. So let's see this extensive thread. One post of a TikTok where she says she was traumatized at 19. Why do you think that's about Jimmy, Keemstar? Allegedly complaining about MrBeast fans. This is her most popular TikTok period with over 6.5 million views and was posted last year. And then Drama Alert goes on to give one more example. And that's the end of the thread. So see her most popular TikTok seems to be alluding to her relationship with MrBeast. And then she has hundreds of more TikToks where she never even tried to recreate the success of that first TikTok, right? Like if I'm her social media manager, I'm telling her, hey, post about Jimmy more. And she obviously knows that if she did that, she would get more views. And yet she doesn't do it. Hundreds of TikToks.
So in other words, she has morals. She's not going to sit there and, just milk it. She's not trying to milk it to make it seem fake. It's real.
About 30 of them are about Taylor Swift. Maybe 3 are about her ex-boyfriend of 2.5 years, which for a Swiftie, it's extremely, extremely low to post only 3 times about your ex-boyfriend who's now incredibly famous.
Don't be taking shots at the Swifties now.
So if she was cloud chasing, she's doing a horrible job at it. Now, Drama Alert, on the other hand, has posted more times in the past month about Maddy Spidell than Maddy Spidell has ever posted about MrBeast.
I don't know who this is, but this looks fantastic.
So I just wanted to address that because I think MrBeast knows Maddy has nukes against him and he's trying to discredit her. So let's look at this leaked email. This is from MrBeast. It says, yesterday Dawson saved 100 billion. Whoa, guys, whoa. Guys, I don't know how that got there. That was the wrong email. I don't know how that got there. So I've actually heard from pretty credible people that this email was not leaked. So, why lie about it? Devious or deceptive tendencies. Here he is quoted in that Rolling Stone article saying, I'm great at lying. But I wanted to focus in on this part where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, we will be hiring a new chief human resource officer, chief financial officer, interesting, and general counsel, along with other roles to add capacity and competencies to foster a better internal culture as we continue to grow. So what's interesting about this is that the only person named in an initiative to foster a better internal culture is Jeff Hausenbold. But what's ironic about this is that Jeff Hausenbold has been in the news previously for the internal culture that he helped create as managing partner at the SoftBank Vision Fund. Here's New York Post. Nasty executives shaped macho culture at SoftBank Vision Fund. And here's Bloomberg Business.
See, what was that little snippet?
Nasty executives shaped macho.
Okay. That was them. Even in the ads, bro doesn't let a woman in the boardroom. I get it. It's a little bit of a reach, though, man. This is the stuff I say. If you call them out for, you can't do it right back, but to each his own.
Show culture at SoftBank Vision Fund. And here's Bloomberg Business Week. SoftBank Vision Fund employees depict a culture of recklessness. It has also been described as an environment of sycophancy and harassment. So seemingly all the problems that people have with MrBeast's internal culture. But this Bloomberg article also goes to call Jeff out by name. Jeff Hausenbold collects cars, including a blue Ferrari, and claims to own a 20,000 bottle wine cellar, although he doesn't drink himself.
What did you just fucking say to me? A $20,000 bottle wine cellar? 20,000 bottle wine cellar. The fuck? Can I get a job without the essays?
Ferrari, and claims to own a 20,000 bottle wine cellar, although he doesn't drink himself. Acquaintances describe him as smart and arrogant and almost entirely lacking in self-awareness. He's also gotten away with some questionable behavior.
That's something I've noticed with very successful people. Very disconnected. They have like no emotions. Like they're just stone cold.
Behavior. In a discussion about whether to invest in the stationary bike startup Peloton in 2017, according to two people who were in the meeting, Hausenbold opined that its exercise equipment appealed in part to men who masturbated to its workout videos.
Dude, I want to jerk off! Fuck! I want to jerk off! Look at this!
SoftBank denied the claims, but it's an oddly specific thing for two people to make up a story about masturbating to Peloton workout videos. So yeah, maybe I don't see the vision with hiring this guy as the new president. Also, this is just what I can share right now. I do have more information that I'm trying to get out. Trying to get permission from the victims and everything. Also trying to save some things for when MrBeast responds. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching.
Special thanks to the raccoon and the Surprise Witness TV. Shout out to Surprise Witness TV. I'll try to use my name for a cloud. These raccoons are ready to fucking throw down, dude. Yeah, so again, dude, this is how it goes. I go, oh, this man's guilty as shit. This seems a little bit weird. Then I go, oh, okay, yeah, it's getting back to guilty. Okay. Now, again, this is just my assumption. I don't know shit. I don't know any of these people. I don't know MrBeast. I don't know any of his team. I know we're all around the same age or so. Some people are younger. I'll say this. A lot of shady pieces are being moved around when you could just hire and fire good people. Hire good people and just fire bad people. Why to consistently keep like you do background checks for any job. Any job requires a background check. Like, why would you consistently keep hiring people who have these horrible records or have cases? It doesn't make sense to me. But I feel like Dogpack404, forgive me if I don't know your name, boss. I feel like he's kind of stretching things out until he can get some type of response because he only has so much and he's waiting for permission to release more information. But I have to keep up with this. Now I'm invested. You guys got me invested, dicks. I love you guys. Stay safe. Thanks for watching with me. What do you think? Comment down below. Do you guys think that this is a reach? Do you guys feel that MrBeast really is just diabolical and evil? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm a firm believer of this. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I do believe in that. But that doesn't mean some people can't be assholes or make asshole decisions or do asshole things. That's all I'm going to say. Disgusting things. Absolutely disgusting things. But I need more than allegedly. I need more than allegedly. We need testimony. We need a lot. So let's just see where this plays out. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching with me. And if there's something I'm missing that I have to see, comment down below. Hit subscribe if you want to continue watching this with me. I'm going down this rabbit hole. I'm going down this journey. And I want to learn about this. Something's on my lip. Yo, how am I going to have something on my lip and no one's going to tell me this whole time? Okay, I'll remember that for next video. I love you guys. Be safe, all right? I'm out. Message me if you need me. My Instagram is linked down below.